Hello everybody and welcome back to the F1 2021 Co-op Career Mode Season 4 with me, Dan, and my co-commentator Nick, with the graphics provided by Matt Amis and Lom1138 as they always do. We come to round 13 today, Radiant Sloth's driver number and lucky number in the USA for the Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. And of course this is a circuit that was a good favourite of Radiant Sloth's earlier on in the series. Back in Season 1, he did very well here in the Williams. Unfortunately, since then has not performed exceedingly well. He'll be hoping for a good result for a change here today. In the meantime, don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and comment down below what was your highlight of the Grand Prix. And we'll get on to the starting grid order in just a moment, and we'll see, has Radiant Sloth's improved? Is he going to have a good race for once? Let's find out. It's a front row lockout for the Red Bull team, with George Russell leading the way from his teammate once again. Then behind them we have Daniel Ricciardo in the first of the Mercedes and Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. Then we have Lewis Hamilton starting P5 alongside Sergio Perez once again. And behind them we have Radiant Sloth's in the first of the Ferraris alongside Lance Stroll, surprisingly, in the Aston Martin. Then it's back to Antonio Giovinazzi in the other Aston Martin, and Max Verstappen rounds out the top 10. Then it's back to Nicholas Latifi in the first of the AlphaTauris. He's alongside Guan Yu Zhou in the McLaren. Then it's Pierre Gasly alongside Nikita Mazepin. He'll be watching himself into turn 1. Then it's Charles Leclerc in the first of the Hasses and Esteban Ocon, who must have received a penalty. Then the two Alfa Romeo drivers of Valtteri Bottas and Robert Schwartzman. And running out the back row, it's Mick Schumacher alongside Justin Freshbot, who's received a penalty. Let's get on with the race.
Racing cars on a circuit.
Radiant Sloth's in 7th. He's got Lance Stroll behind him, and Sergio Perez slightly ahead. Lance Stroll's now ahead of him, though. Poor start for the Ferrari driver, but he's around the outside. He's going around Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo. Lewis Hamilton with an incredibly violent move against the Ferrari. Daniel Ricciardo probably cut the corner, gets ahead of Radiant Sloth's. Justin Freshbot already made up 5 positions.
What a driver.
In the background, we'll be sure to catch the onboard with him if Codemasters make a game that actually works properly, because I'm pretty sure there's only half of that replay available as he goes up the inside of Esteban Ocon.
Already up to 14th. Will he be able to get points?
He gets a bit loose there. And the Max Verstappen is next up the road. Nikita Mazepin looking to try and get past the Alpine as well, or to crash into the back of the Ferrari. Nikita Mazepin making overtakes. Oh, no, he's lost the position. This was the start for Radiant Sloth's. Poor reaction time from the American driver. He goes around the outside. Let's watch Lewis Hamilton here with that aggressive move to the outside. He hits his teammate. Radiant Sloth's has to back out of it as Daniel Ricciardo, and he crashes into him. This was Justin Freshbot halfway through the restart because Codemasters ghosted him. Enormous dive bomb.
Very late move. Hits the apex beautifully.
He damaged the Alpine's front end plate there, actually, as they went through turn 1. And now we're rejoining the end of lap 1. Max Verstappen under massive pressure from the Ferraris, defending, but he just can't hold the position. Justin Freshbot.
Another move for Justin Freshbot.
As I hit pay for the curry that I started ordering in the last video, Justin Freshbot lines up a move on Pierre Gasly. He's not going to have DRS yet, so he's going to have to use a traditional overtake to try and get past the Frenchman. He's tucked in behind. The AlphaTauri quick in a straight line, but not as quick as the Ferrari. Or is it? Justin Freshbot not able to make a move past Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen dropping back. No threat. The Ferrari up the inside of Pierre Gasly he goes. Pushes him wide.
Pierre Gasly's not giving it up easily. He swings across to hit the Ferrari. The Ferrari avoids it. The Ferrari round the outside.
What's happened?
Which will become the inside for the next corner. He's behind.
He's going to tactically sit behind up the pit straight, rather, into turn one. Gasly goes defensive already. He knows what's coming. Justin Freshbot, he's getting ready to send it around the outside. Pierre Gasly squeezes him. He misses the corner, but still managed to get round there.
Freshbot goes wide to make this little flat out bit a bit longer. Will he be able to make the move? Radiant Slothz now probably going to spin, I imagine.
No, just under threat from Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, breathing down his neck in a car which has DRS and is much faster. That's a lock-up for the Ferrari. Lando Norris up ahead, half a second lead over Carlos Sainz, unsurprising. George Russell not challenging at all. Just goes to show.
Slothz on the phone to his engineer saying, "Where can I corner cut?"
He's missed the corner. Hamilton up the inside. Sergio Perez is looking as well. Radiant Slothz. He's going to go around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. He's going. Oh, he's around him. Incredible driving.
Two in one corner from Radiant Slothz. How does he do it?
Radiant Slothz with a masterclass of defending. Let's watch the onboard. As we see this, he deliberately locks the front tyre, allows Lewis Hamilton to overtake him. But this is a trick. He blocks Perez, forces Hamilton to the inside, and swings it round the outside. Incredible move from Radiant Slothz. We've never seen anything like it.
One driver can break that many rules in one corner. We see Justin Freshbot still behind Peter Gasly. He needs to get past.
Somehow did not get past Gasly on the DRS straight. I guess the Honda engine is actually doing fairly well here. But he's going to look at the inside into turn one. He's already got past him at this point. He slams his rear wheel into the front left of Pierre Gasly to assert his dominance. But he is past. Still approaching the points.
Up 8 places in 4 laps. At this rate, I think he'll win the race.
And he's going to come into the pit lane. He's got Antonio Giovinazzi ahead of him. I don't think anyone else is going to be coming in. Just it's a massive track extend. And he comes in. Oh, and he stopped on the wall.
The car bounces off the wall and comes to a stop.
Incredible.
What happened there?
Incredible realism
What a game.
From the game developers. As we see him come in, Mick Schumacher gets past, so Justin Freshbot with his early stop will join at the back. And this is Radiant Slothz.
He will be clean air.
He goes wide. Lewis Hamilton might take this opportunity. He does. Lewis Hamilton goes around the outside. Radiant Slothz holds on just about. It might have helped him, actually. He may not have to defend as much down the DRS straight. Lewis Hamilton, on the other hand, may have something else to say about that. As may Sergio Perez, as we come down now. Hamilton into the slipstream. Radiant Slothz goes defensive, but thankfully on this occasion did not need to dodge and weave. And keep an eye on that timing chart. 5.1 seconds for Justin Freshbot behind the Haas.
Box.
See how quickly he can catch him. 5 seconds. He's already gained 2 tenths. Justin Freshbot's making good progress. Radiant Slothz about to come in. Another early stop. He nearly flings it round and spins. He comes in. Amazingly doesn't hit the wall and cause trauma to the front wing of his car. And Justin Freshbot, if you're watching, down to 4 seconds now. Closing in on the Haas in his clean air. Making massive progress. Now he's just taken half a second out of Mick Schumacher. Radiant Slothz, where will he rejoin? Somewhere back there is Charles Leclerc. Yep, there he is. Coming down the pit straight. Locked up his tyre already, so that's already going to be a flat spot.
That is a ruined tyre. Radiant Slothz will have to retire from the race, as I hiccup mid-sentence.
He's into the slipstream of Nikita Mazepin. This is crucial. Lewis Hamilton's coming out of the pit lane, as is Sergio Perez. Nikita Mazepin forces him wide. Nikita Mazepin Unbelievable defending. He's
massive track extend from Radiant Slothz. That is a crime again.
Radiant Sloth's afraid of what Mazepin might do. Now he's holding him up all the way through Sector 1, and Sergio Perez is looking to capitalise on the slowness of the Williams. Radiant Sloth's not able to get past on the run up the hill. Sergio Perez at the inside. Oh, he's hit the Ferrari!
Radiant Slothz has hit the Alpine. Disgraceful.
Sergio Perez. Shocking display from the Mexican. Let's ride on board. This was Mazepin defending into turn 1. Massive dive bomb. He nearly rear ends the Mercedes Lewis Hamilton. Radiant Sloth's on the grass. Gets a bit loose. And then look at how slow this Williams is through here. Not too bad through the first couple of corners, but then here, massive brake check from Nikita Mazepin. As we go up the hill, Radiant Slothz takes a wide line in, and Sergio Perez unlawfully smacks him on the rear tyre.
Cutting up the Alpine. Nowhere for Perez to go. Disgusting. Now his teammate is behind him.
Meanwhile, Antonio Giovinazzi has stayed out, has taken the lead. Nikita Mazepin sneaks into the pits, and Radiant Slothz will try to make the move on his championship rival, Sergio Perez. He's back into the points. Net P7. He locks up massively into turn 1, but is not able to make anything of it. Meanwhile, Justin Freshpot, he's now covered into turn 1 as well. And he is battling Lance Stroll. Goes around the outside and is quite comfortably ahead of the Aston Martin. He'll be happy with that, although Stroll doesn't appear to be particularly pleased.
Justin Freshpot, of course, the greatest driver in Formula 1 history, as we all know.
Radiant Slothz chasing down the Mexican man known to Formula 1 drivers as Sergio Perez. Coming down the penultimate corner. Lewis Hamilton escaped into the distance thanks to the disgusting driving from Nikita Mazepin. As Radiant Slothz into the slipstream. He's much closer this time. Sergio Perez, no DRS for him. Radiant Slothz to the outside. Sergio Perez lunges into the corner, and he's gone so slow. Radiant Slothz has hit the back of him. He tries to go around the outside of turn 2, but Radiant Slothz, although we can't see it, appears to have picked up some damage. He can't make the corner. Severe loss of downforce for the Ferrari. He's dropped back nearly a second as he approaches the DRS zone. That is his P6 chances well and truly over. Let's look on board. Draws alongside, turns in, and Perez
just crashes into the Alpine.
Incredibly
nothing Perez could do.
Dangerous driving from Perez, going so slow into turn 1 that Radiant Slothz had no choice but to rear end him. And that's the effect of the damage.
Justin Freshpot now. An incredible race so far. From 20th to 8th. Should get past his teammate here. And then he will try and catch Perez. Radiant Slothz now holding up Justin Freshpot.
Radiant Slothz giving Justin Freshpot the toe along the pit straight. Going into turn 1. Is he going to move aside? He does. He allows his teammate through. Excellent teamwork.
Justin Freshpot says, why did that take you so bloody long? There's no chance I can catch Perez now.
Radiant
Slothz ruins the race for both Ferrari cars and will be fired by the head of the mafia.
He's on the radio right now. He's saying, if I get paid $1 million, I'll hold up Guan Yu Zhou, and they've accepted. Guan Yu Zhou is in for the ride of his life now. As they come onto the back straight. Lance Stroll has just DNF'd for some reason. That's the end of his race.
Lance Stroll, of course, one of the Formula 1 drivers of all time.
Guan Yu Zhou to the inside. Radiant Slothz with an incredible defensive move. Guan Yu Zhou has no answer. Locks up into the end of the DRS straight. Guan Yu Zhou, his inexperience showing through. Not able to defend. Or attack, rather. Allows Esteban Ocon to draw closer. We've got just over 2 laps to go. Justin Freshpot now with a comfortable buffer of nearly 2 seconds, thanks to the incredible defence being mounted by Radiant Slothz. And now we're going to see into turn 1. Can he defend from the McLaren, which is much faster, and the Alpine for that matter? Guan Yu Zhou to the outside. Radiant Slothz locks up. He holds the inside line. He pushes the Chineseman off of the circuit. Esteban Ocon gets past as well. This is exactly what he needs because that McLaren is much faster in a straight line than he is. Esteban Ocon might not be, although he has a look. Guan Yu Zhou now back behind Radiant Slothz, Justin Freshpot much further ahead now, nearly 5 seconds. As we come round, Radiant Slothz now holding up 4 cars. Going onto the final lap, Guan Yu Zhou will do everything he can to get past the Ferrari.
Anyone still watching at home can play Radiant Slothz Bingo. Which of these 4 cars will he crash into?
There's a prize.
It could be any of them. It could be all of them.
Comment down below who you think Radiant Slothz will crash into, as I nearly dropped my phone, which has my Just Eat order on it. Radiant Slothz miraculously defending still. 7 seconds the buffer to Justin Freshpot. He has secured the team 7th place. Will receive no thanks. But he is just an unsung hero of the sport as he goes defensive. Guan Yu Zhou not able to fulfill that move around the outside. This is his last chance. And we're going to ride from the side pod of Radiant Slothz. Guan Yu Zhou moves to the inside.
Oh, he's crashed into the McLaren. That was contact. Illegal driving from Radiant Slothz.
No contact
Disgusting.
there. No moving in the braking zone. They were not in the braking zone. Esteban Ocon up the inside of Guan Yu Zhou. Not what he wanted in the Constructors' Championship, at least. However, McLaren could do with scoring a few less points. Esteban Ocon thinks about it. Coming in to the final couple of corners, there's Justin Freshpot. Is he going to end the race
What a driver.
in spectacular
13
fashion?
positions gained.
He's going to hit the wall. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, he's clattered,
he's
clattered the barriers.
somehow carries on. What a driver.
Radiant Slothz, amazingly, still defending from Ocon into the final corner. He runs in wide and he finishes the Grand Prix. Robert Schwartzman was overtaken at the last second by the looks of it. But that is the end of the American Grand Prix. Everyone will be going for burgers and fries, especially Esteban Ocon because he got driver of the day for that incredible.
Even though
not
Justin
overtake.
Freshpot got driver of the day, as he was told, but apparently not. Disgraceful. Christian Horner celebrates being in America next to the London Eye. What a day.
The London. Oh my God! They've stolen the London Eye. This is ridiculous.
Breaking news. Texas has robbed London.
Breaking news. The UK has declared war on Texas for stealing the London Eye and also because they covet their lands. This could go down in history as one of the bloodiest conflicts ever recorded. In the Formula 1 though, Lando Norris celebrates. He's mocking the crowd. He's saying, look, I'm British and I want the London Eye back. George Russell's probably up there, but he's not going to do anything. I mean, let's face it, he can't beat Lando Norris in a one-on-one race in the best car on the grid. He's not going to say anything to the Texans. And Carlos Sainz, also up there, being a Spaniard. So there we have it. Lando Norris takes the victory away from his teammate once again and puts him back in his place. Carlos Sainz joins the other Red Bulls on the podium. Then we're back to Lewis Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, Justin Freshpot, Radiant Slothz, who handily defended Justin Freshpot from the oncoming attacks. Then it's Esteban Ocon and Guan Yu Zhou rounding out the top 10. Over in the Drivers' Championship, there's no change at the top of the table. Lando Norris still leads from George Russell and Daniel Ricciardo. Then it's back to Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon, Guan Yu Zhou and Yuki Tsunoda, although he is not in this anymore, is still in the top 10. Radiant Slothz moves up to 11th after his points tally. Justin Freshpot remains in P15. Over in the Constructors, Red Bull's victory is almost complete. Mercedes have nothing they can do at this point besides hope Red Bull can DNF all of the remaining races. Then it's back to third for Ferrari, whose lead over McLaren is getting smaller and smaller every race which goes by. Then it's back to Alpine, AlphaTauri, Williams, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas. That's all. We'll catch you in the next one.